Hello, folks. Just doing a quick intro here. Hello, everybody from Frostgiving. Doing this a bit impromptu, but we've got a lot of stuff going on for the night. First and foremost, this is round one of NA. Silvertal's soldiers going like a Northstar. There are plenty of matches happening tonight and a couple other PvPs, but I've got 4 rounds of matches that we're going to see all throughout the night. First and foremost, this is a charity stream, and you, if you'd like, can donate right down below. There's a little panel with the graphic attached to it that will take you directly to the campaign, supporting To Write Love on Her Arms, nonprofit dedicated prevention of self-injury, suicide, depression, and addiction. Additionally, we've got a lot of bonuses for each donation as well. The teams later on will have a couple of matches that include a Path to Scrim, and they have plenty of things that they will do in-game, including unbinding their S key, turning their sense up to 5 by 5 times. But if you're interested in just a Frostgiving banner, any donation helps. Any donation is good. And just sending that down below at the donation link, but also periodically go up in chat as we are about to kick things off. We're seeing our first couple of lineups and bans as we prepare for the first match of the night. Alright, folks, we're headed into our first match of the night with Silvertal Soldiers going up against Laika Northstar in our Frostgiving 2025 charity event. Kicking things off with a couple of bans. Top right, you can see Silvertal Soldiers banning the Tracer, while Laika Northstar is banning the Diva. Laika Northstar trying to find some value onto the left-hand height, playing on Ilios as our first map of the night here. Lots of damage from Shore Pipeline. Tidal gets the kill on the Chi, and immediately we can see Silvertal is on a bit of a back foot to start things off. But very quickly, Laika Northstar is able to maintain their hold and get the first torso capture on the board. Sorry, I have the teams inverted on the overlay. My bad. That was the first capture from Silvertal. Let me fix that real quick. A random logo is going to show up there. And headed into the next re-engagement, we can see Laika Northstar fighting up against Silvertal once again, feeling the heat. Laika's trying to find a way to break out of the fight, going up against Tidal on the height there, coming up on a couple of ultimates with Tidal coming up on that downpour, looking for an opportunity to use that. Luca immediately gets taken out once getting that Kitsune Rush online. Shoreline Pie falling down as well. Idol trying to stay in, but it's going to get denied by Jin and Chi. Laika Northstar turning the capture back around over to their side. About 60% for them to come back on. A bit of a long ride, a bit of a difficult journey. You see 5 engagements on the board, coming up on 2 more for Shoreline Pie, and didn't goes down though. Jin with the kill. Out comes the sound barrier from Foolish. Big damage onto Sovereign. And you see the capture go back over to Silvertal with a single ultimate usage there from Foolish, completely turning the fight back around. Irina gets taken out by Shoreline Pie once again. We're seeing Silvertal Soldiers put up a great display. In on the Sombra here, looking to make something a bit interesting happen. Has the hack ready to go. Rotating over to the left-hand side with Chi. Out comes the downpour from Tidal. Diving way deep into the back, but the hack is near the point. Jin gets the kill on the Shoreline Pie, but does go down pretty quickly afterwards. Luca popping the Kitsune Rush. We see the sound barrier and the Kitsune Rush from there as well. Back and forth, lots happening. He holding onto the Primal Rage, gonna pop it on the point here. Tidal going for a reset back in, still trying to stall out Silvertal, having control over the point still. She can't quite knock Tidal off, and the capture is just right there, but Laika Northstar unable to finish it out as Tidal gets the kill. The overtime picks down, and we're gonna see Silvertal Soldiers take that first round up against Laika Northstar, putting the score 1-0 here on our first map of Frostgiving. And headed into our second. Let's see if we can find any interesting composition picks so far. Everyone's staying with some fairly uniform stuff, except for Shoreline, who might be debating the Widowmaker to start things out with. Orchid on the Cassidy in the back. He swapping over to the Zarya, really trying to punish Tidal on the Hazard here, hoping to find some more value with a bit more of a brawl focus. Shoreline still opening up on the Widowmaker. We see the Vendetta pick from Didn't, taking over to that perspective. This is our first opportunity to see Vendetta, and it looks like Didn't is not actually going to play with her, and instead swapping off over to Venture instead. Point unlocks, headed into the capture. Jin on the Venture as well. Venture mirroring each other. Didn't gets the kill on the Sovereign. Jin's very low. Title with one of the Orchid and another on the Chi. Laika Northstar falling apart pretty quickly as more of that damage comes in up against Jin. Team kill immediately turns the fight back over. The capture is going to go to Silvertal soldiers. Laika Northstar trying to scramble their way onto the point. We can see the Cassidy and Venture playing with Chi on the right side, looking for an opportunity to re-aggress as that timer ticks up. Shoreline still trying to find some value on this Widowmaker. Over onto the height, can't quite get those shots that they're looking for. Sovereign fighting in the left-hand side. Has to rotate for a pack. We can see didn't gets the kill onto Jin. Title ready to go. Laying in through main, diving into the back. Irina with the kill on the Shoreline Pie. Orchard with the kill on the Title. Title with one on the Sovereign. And immediately we're seeing this fight kind of lean back over to Northstar after a bit of a contested fight. Irina with the kill onto Foolish. That's going to get the fight definitively over to Laika Northstar and put a bit of a late death over on Foolish, but then Shoreline Pie with the kill onto Cyrena. After that, finding value on the Widowmaker, popping that infra sight here, and re-engaging for the next fight with Silvertal soldiers ready to go, trying to find that last shot onto Chi. Chi goes down, and Silvertal is re-aggressing at a quite consistent rate with kills on the Orchard and Sovereign as well. Just Cyrena is up running for their lives to be able to escape Title's grasp. Title having that downpour heading into the next fight. Laika Northstar close to rounding things back out. But immediately, Silvertal soldiers able to pull ahead. Over at the 60% capture now. We see Ventures, dig site, pop out here, trying to find some value. Gets denied out by the Zarya, farming a decent amount of charge off of Ventures' ultimate here. Now comes the Kitsune rush from Luca. Orchard on the Deadeye, locking the site down. Gets the kill on the Shoreline Pie, and immediately on the capture. Like a Northstar putting their all into this last fight, but Cyrena goes down. Foolish still holding on to that sound barrier. Gets the kill onto Jin. G stuck a little isolated, holding on for dear life. G goes down. Sovereign's getting tackled. And like a Northstar is not able to take the team fight, as immediately we see the pressure from Silvertal. Trying to lock out Cyrena. Tries to make it to the touch, but isn't going to make it in time. And the first map goes over to Silvertal soldiers against like a Northstar. We'll see if the teams are able to, if Silvertal soldiers hold on to their lead, or if like a Northstar pulls ahead in the second map after a short break. Once again, want to take this opportunity to remind everybody that beneath the chat there, you can see the panel that links over to the charity Tiltify to the Tiltify charity link. For a great cause of preventing suicide prevention, addiction, self-injury, etc. All donations go straight to charity there, as we're working towards our $1,000 goal. Additionally, later we'll have teams that are competing with special bonuses and perks that can cause them to Ajax or turn their sensitivity all the way up. And so your donation could very well jurisdict the direction that a game goes. But we'll be back in a moment with the next map. Okay, folks, we're headed into our second map of the night, and it's looking like another interesting pick from both teams. As you can see, I had that on the wrong screen. As you can see, we can see some interesting picks from both teams. Laika Northstar with the ban onto the Widowmaker, and then Silvertal Soldiers with the ban onto the Winston. Once again, interesting picks across the board. Not necessarily the most uniform. But, you know, that's the whole spirit of the season, whole spirit of the charity event. Headed over to Dorado now. Don't see a whole lot of Dorado picks, so definitely lots of interesting things happen. We do also see the Vendetta pick, this time for real, from Shoreline Pie. Looking to kick things off with potentially the first time that I've seen Vendetta played at this level. So, you know, let's see how Shoreline Pie opens up the match. We do see Weber as well opening up on the Torbjorn. Love that for Weber. Other than that, we see the Kiriko Ana picks and then the Ana Brig picks. So Ana just remaining a constant even during Frostgiving. Starting the match out, Shoreline Pie almost immediately getting taken out by Orchid on that Ashe. Looking for some damage right out of the gate. Following up with the dynamite, trying to find that finishing blow. Didn't all the way out of the fight at this point. We can see Silvertal giving up a ton of space before they have to reset. Shoreline trying to find value on the Vendetta. Big cuts. Diva doesn't have any answer to that. Shoreline Pie actually following up by getting the D-Mech from on the Chi there from Didn't. And lots of damage comes in from Shoreline as well, but losing Tidal and Luca could spell the end of the fight for Silvertal. As immediately we see all that damage come right back out. Shoreline loses Chi and Orchid. Chi with the kill onto Foolish. And Shoreline with the kill onto Sovereign. Immediately, Shoreline just cleaning up the fight. Vendetta with the triple kill. Laika Northstar falls apart to the woman with the big sword. Vendetta on the field. Looking for the reset. Northstar has to get right back down to business, hoping to deal with Shoreline a bit earlier and not allow the same event to happen again. We can see Orchid coming up as the Bob. We can see Weber right on top of that pulse bomb, looking for an opportunity on the side. Bob comes out from Orchid. Orchid with one on the Tidal. Shoreline goes down. Vendetta's out of the picture. Weber throws the pulse bomb on the staircase, really making sure that it gets damaged. Out comes the nano boost and the rally pop. Nano Brig is active on the field. Sovereign getting chased into a small corner, but Chi and Weber finding kills onto Luca and Didn't. Here comes the Vendetta ultimate. Big slam down on the pavement. Hits the pavement really well. Trying to find that damage onto the D.Va. D.Va going for the self-destruct sequence. Really tired of Shoreline's shenanigans. See the remake come back out. And once again, holding on by a thread. Silvertal is still able to hold down the line for a few more seconds, but that capture comes through. 4 minutes on the clock, Laika Northstar pushing that payload. Idol has that downpour. Results can go anywhere. We're already seeing a lot of very interesting ult usages. You know, the Nano Brig followed up with the rally. Very solid choice. It worked on poor Sovereign, who was ganged up on. We saw the Vendetta ultimate, you know, really slash a hole into the concrete, making sure that that concrete doesn't go anywhere. Looking for our next ult exchange on the height. There's Bob. Getting sent out running all the way across the field. And then 2 shots from Ditton gets Weber taken out. Shoreline with a follow-up onto Orchid. G getting forced out of mech right there at the end. Suzu not quite able to keep them up. Foolish with the kill on the cheese. Cyrena and Sovereign fall. Northstar conceding another one of their fights, but they are able to get the payload decently far halfway through the second objective. Idol with the downpour up. Orchid has that Bob ready for another engagement. Out comes the sleep onto the hazard. Tidal has to get up, looking for an opportunity to use downpour. This could be the angle. Waiting for the reset. Luca pops a Kitsune rush. Silvertal back in the fight. Re-engaging. Tidal's a little low. Here comes Shoreline. There's the downpour from Tidal. Big damage, but the sleep once again from Sovereign. Shoreline chasing into the back. Not able to secure the kill. Here comes the rally from Foolish. Down goes Orchid. Silvertal, once again, finding these ultimates at the right time, getting the kills where they need them. Weber already looking a little hurt. Going back and finds a lot of damage onto Luca. Luca falls. He gets demech'd. We can see that pressure coming in from Silvertal once again. Standing on the cart, Tidal knocking everybody off. Shoreline has that Vendetta ultimate way on the back of the reset though. Not going to quite make it in time. Luca teleports into their death. And Shoreline's not going to risk using the Vendetta ultimate during that fight. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Laika Northstar making progress. They just need to close the gap right here at the end. Didn't has the ultimate for Ashe, looking for an opportunity to pop Bob. Big nade there from Sovereign. Lots of ultimates ready to be used. Coming up on that downpour once again as well. Out comes the nano boost on the Orchid. Ashe Nano looking for value. Isn't quite going to be able to get any big picks. Does find one on the Luca. There's the Bob. Gets slept out. Bob standing back up, loud and proud. Hidden playing in the corner here. Gets immediately traded out with Weber. The downpour is able to lock out the capture for a brief moment from Laika, but Laika is rallying back together, going up against Foolish's rally. Tidal with the kill on the Orchard, and we can see Laika struggling a bit to maintain the hold. But that pulse bomb gets the kill on the shoreline. He holding on for dear life with a kill onto Tidal. The nano boost from Sovereign back in the offensive. Luca under heavy fire, weaving back and forth. One ultimate still on the board. Shoreline looking for an opportunity to use the Vendetta ult. Gets cancelled out of it. And Northstar coming up 40 seconds on the clock. 8.86 meters away. G with the demolition kill on the self-destruct sequence. Weber with one on the didn't. Down goes Tidal, and Laika is able to get the capture that they need with very little time left on the clock. 30 seconds left at the time of the side swap. Laika and Northstar getting the capture that they need. Heading over to our side swap now. We'll see if Shoreline decides to stick with the Vendetta. Having found amazing value on first point, but afterwards wasn't able to get a lot of opportunities for her ultimate. Whoops. Corval's message just gets nuked in chat for absolutely no reason. Shout out to Nightbot for the record. Me not setting up Nightbot properly. Anyway, headed into the second half. You know, Laika Northstar on their way back out of the fight here. They are able to get that 30-second capture with 85 meters. We can see, looks like Shoreline kind of done with the whole Vendetta trick, not having as much fun as they would have liked to have. But over to the Ash, potentially mirroring with the Deadlock gang here, Orchid, and switching between everything. Shoreline is indecisive, not entirely sure which direction they want to go. We see Cyrena bringing out the Wuyang pick here. And with the walls fall in the second half, like a Northstar on their defensive positions, this is their opportunity to lock out Silvertal. And we just got an $11 donation in the charity. Shout out to Anonymous for redeeming the Frostgiving themed banner. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much. Dot with Doc, we can see immediately like a Northstar on the offensive, putting in a lot of value. Orchard with the kill on the shoreline pipe, and Tidal playing on the height here, looking for an angle, diving in, feeling that pressure come out. And immediately Silvertal looking for a re-engagement. Orchard on the height, really locking Tidal. Facing right up against Chi as well. Chi trying to get that DMEC on Tidal with Weber's help. 3 minutes on the clock. Silvertal struggling a bit to break out of the defensive line from Laika Northstar. Cyrena just chilling on height with Wuyang. Not a care in the world. Tidal getting close to DMEC once again. Just needs a few more shots from Laika and they'd be able to pull it off. But Silvertal is back on the offensive. They DMEC Chi instead. Weber goes down. Chi falls. Luca on the card has that Kitsune rush. We can see Cyrena and Sovereign fighting for their lives, being chased by Shoreline on that Cassidy. Oh, but Cyrena gets the kill. Shutting down what we saw. Tidal with the kill onto Orchard. There's the Tidal blast from Cyrena. Running in there. Big slam. And no stuns. Out comes the Kitsune rush. Cyrena in a very unfortunate position as Didn't gets the kill. And we can see that Kitsune rush showing strength for Silvertal. There's the self-destruct inside the small cubby over there. Out comes the sound barrier from Foolish. But Orchid using that bob. It's an ult exchange of monumental proportions. Tidal with a couple of kills there, still going to be able to hold on offensively here. A minute and a half on the clock. Silvertal resorting to the Deadeye, very close with Shoreline, playing on the point, gets one, gets two. Chi and Weber go down. Foolish and Luca and Shoreline just cleaning up. Laika right there at the end with such little time left weren't able to maintain their defense, and right back on the offensive is Silvertal, now pushing right into Laika Northstar. Shoreline having that Deadeye once again, waiting for an opportunity to play with it. Great ult economy on Silvertal's side at the moment. Not a lot for them to play against. There's the high noon pop from Shoreline in the back, trying to find value. The defense matrix has to play it out. Dropping down, not quite able to find the kill. She gets a kill on the Shoreline of Sovereign with one on the Foolish, and immediately that Deadeye showing its punishment from Laika as they completely destroy the offensive line from Silvertal's soldiers here, forcing a reset. We can see Weber having that pulse bomb, looking for an opportunity on Tracer. Cyrena not too far behind on the rally, but Luca and Tidal and Didn't all coming up on 3 ultimates for Silvertal. Luca ready with that Kitsune rush. Tidal's playing up through the staircase here. This is a chance for a team fight. Just need the round the corner. There's the Kitsune rush. Silvertal's looking for value. Out comes the rally from Cyrena though. Gets a stun, knocks Tidal off of the height there. Just has to lock it out for a couple more seconds. Cyrena holds on. And Laika Northstars once again maintaining their hold. Tidal with the kill on the Orchid, but Weber follows up with one onto Didn't. Out comes the Kitsune rush from Chi. Sovereign still trying to find value for Laika Northstar, and they're doing that. They're still holding the height. Once again, forcing a reset from Silvertal. Thank you. Another $5 donation from Sleepy Zoe, redeeming a Frostgiving themed banner. Thank you so much for your donation there. Shoreline Pie, not Pipe, getting a kill onto Sovereign there. Orchid with the bomb. Foolish having the Lucio sound barrier, looking for an opportunity as Silvertal getting ready to round this next corner on the capture point. A minute on the clock. Laika Northstar just has to stop them here. Out comes Bob, trying to stall the points. Foolish with the kill on the Orchid. D with the kill on the Shoreline Pie. Didn't touch me with the kill onto Weber. Laika is still trying to maintain as they lose Cyrena and Sovereign. It's looking tough. Chi gets demeched. 28 seconds on the clock. And they just can't quite hold it down. Tidal and Didn't touch me with a couple more kills. And once again, Laika Northstar forced to the reset. A minute and a half on the clock. Out comes the Kitsune rush from Luca. Didn't touch me, and Tidal on the cart, looking for some ult pops here. Lots in the bank. High noon pop from Shoreline Pie. Ooh, but the Suzu at the last minute, saving Sovereign's life. Weber still finds a kill onto Didn't Touch Me, but here comes the sound barrier from Foolish, mirroring Cyrena's rally. Kitsune rush comes out from Sovereign as Laika Northstar tries to hold on. The demech from Tidal leads to the remech. D with the kill on the Shoreline Pie, but Didn't Touch Me with one onto Laika, or not Laika, Orchid. Luca coming up on that Kitsune rush once again with 18 seconds on the clock. Northstar at the Silvertal's at the very end. The Kitsune rush barely makes it out as Luca goes down. That's value for Northstar though, as they find Cyrena, Orchid, and Chi. Multiple kills. The overtime is ticking down. Tidal doesn't quite have enough to remech. Feeling the pressure come in from Weber on the side. There's Sovereign in the back on the Kiriko. 2.39 meters, has to touch. Here comes the remake. Weber gets the kill on the Shoreline Pie, but at the exact same time, Laika and Northstars have re-arrived. We can see Orchard using the Deadeye, looking for a kill. Title's in the back there, gonna get demeched. Not gonna be able to get the capture as it's ticking down. There's still a couple of touch from, Didn't Touch Me, ironically. Cyrena and Chi with the kill onto Luca, and Didn't Touch Me is gonna take the second map over to Laika Northstar right there at the end, folks, tying things up 1-1 in our first match of the night. We'll be back with map 3 to see which team takes the lead after a short break, and hopefully I fix Nightbot from moderating people for no reason. I'll be back after a break.
Coming to town. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and
Alright, folks, once again, sorry, Corval. It's not your fault, okay? You just got timed out. Hang on. I'm sorry. Let me untime you out. There we go. That's crazy. Okay, I will fix this. I'm in the middle of doing so much at the moment. I'm sorry. Another $10 donation from Jasmine High Mind. Max volume turned up flex at full speed. Thank you so much for another $10 donation on to the charity event here. We're headed over to our third map of the night, up against Laika, Northstar, and Silvertal. Headed on to King's Row. Everyone's familiar with King's Row. We got two bands coming in again, with one from Lucio. I'm sorry, I can't get over the fact that Core got muted by Nightbot. I'm sorry. Anyway, Lucio with the ban from Silvertal, and then Laika banning the Hazard to start things off. Didn't touch it with the kill onto Cyrena. And, you know, moving very quickly for Silvertal as they get that kill. Jin opening up on the Vendetta here, trying to find some value with that. I am gonna, hang on, let me look at chat moderation. Okay, I am just gonna turn off all chat moderation that Nightbot has, just for the record. Chat moderation's turned off now. You can say something horrible in here. You won't get silent. You won't get silenced anymore. Anyway, back over Shoreline Pie. Luca with the kill on the Orchid, and we can see that Silvertal wasn't quite able. Sorry, man, I'm getting all mixed up. They're able to defend up against Laika Northstar on their first offense. Laika Northstar headed back in for another offense. Luca with the Kitsune Rush, playing on height, waiting for an opportunity to use that for Silvertal. Tidal almost gets taken out. Here comes the Kitsune Rush from Sovereign. A bit passive, which means that Silvertal can just kite right out of it and then use their own Kitsune Rush like we see with Luca here. Tidal with one on the Chi. Lots of pressure. Immediately turned back around as Tidal gets the kill onto Jin as well. Lots of ultimates for Silvertal. Headed into this next fight. Gonna make it a difficult fight for Laika Northstar, especially since they only have the Tidal Blast on their side. Still opportunities for value, though. You can see the Ramatra just putting in a lot of work for Silvertal, as Didn't Touch Me gets 2 kills with the dig site. Ultimate follow-up damage onto Sovereign there. Once again, Laika set to the reset with Cyrena, just chilling with the Tidal Blast on Wu Yang here. Opportunities to get something done with it, of course. Waiting for the right moment, the right time. We see the Tidal Blast come out from Foolish. Cyrena pulls their own Tidal Blast out, playing forwards. Didn't Touch Me with a kill onto Jin. Tidal holding on to the presence. Here comes the High Noon Pop. Shoreline waiting for the Deadeye, back in the height here. Silvertal, here comes. Pops the Deadeye, but immediately gets looked at. Shoreline gets taken out by Sovereign. However, here comes the Blizzard. That's just one damage ultimate after another. We see Tidal pop the Annihilation, the overtime, ticking down Laika right here at the end, getting the capture that they need. Very close though. Wait, here comes Tidal Blast from Foolish. G popping the Annihilation for Laika Northstar for the rearmor, but it's looking a bit tough even still. G is hanging on by a thread as Tidal can't quite get the finishing blow. Shoreline Pie with the kill in the Orchard, but Chi still hanging on. And the capture goes to Laika Northstar in the overtime. Heading in for the next forward hold, we can see Laika on the edge of their seats, coming up on a couple of ultimates, mostly just Sovereign's Kitsune Rush, and Sovereign's not going to get that until they respawn, however, as Luca gets the kill in the back, as Sal, we can see the soldiers marching forwards. Venture not quite going to be able to get their ultimate off as Didn't gets taken out by Jin, and we can see Laika Northstar using King's Row to their advantage and pushing the payload pretty quickly. A minute and a half on the clock isn't a lot for Laika Northstar to work with, which means that they have to be very aware of the pressure. Out comes one from Sovereign though, with that Kitsune Rush. Laika Northstar making a lot of value off of just the single ultimate. Tidal with the Tidal Blast. Tidal with the Tidal Blast. That's a tongue twister right there. Didn't Touch Me and Shoreline both using their damage ultimates. Didn't Touch Me finds one onto Cyrena. Out comes the Blizzard though. Didn't Touch Me gets frozen and then taken out by Jin. Tidal on the back foot. Laika Northstar finding 3 kills. Still trying to hold down the last part of the fight. 45 seconds on the clock. She with the kill onto Foolish. With the kill on the Shoreline as well. Luca with the Kitsune Rush ultimate there, getting the kill on the Sovereign. Tidal with the Annihilation. Lots of damage, lots of kills up against Laika. That's going to cause a full reset, a minute and a half on the clock. Still an opportunity to turn this around. For Laika, they have a minute and a half, which is a decent amount of time. They do have to go around this last couple of bends, which are very difficult to do on King's Row. Here comes the Deadeye from Shoreline, looking to use, finding some damage in the back there. Here comes Orchard with their own Deadeye, but gets taken out immediately after using it. Does find the kill onto Foolish. Chi and Tidal both doing the Annihilation off, just, you know, right next to each other, taking a nice photo op. Tidal with the kill onto Sovereign, but does go down to Chi. Chi does go down the Shoreline, and Laika Northstar pushed into the corner here. Didn't Touch Me with the Blizzard, looking to just drop right on top of Laika as they trickle back into the fight. Sovereign has the Kitsune Rush, but it's the only ultimate on the board. Cyrena's Nano Boost isn't too far behind. There's the Blizzard and the wall. She's gone! 15 seconds counting down. Laika needs to have an answer, but Didn't Touch Me and Shoreline getting multiple kills up against Northstar right here at the end of the ballot. Foolish having that Tidal Blast. Here comes the Kitsune Rush from Sovereign. And there goes the Tidal Blast out over on the Didn't Touch Me. The first round ends, and Laika Northstar getting the first 2 captures, but not quite able to close out on the captures that they would have liked. Overall, a decently strong first half. But the question is, can the Silvertal soldiers put in just as much efforts? How will it play out moving forwards? We are going to see if our compositions change at all headed into the next fight here. And as we can see, our compositions aren't going to change too much with Shoreline Pie on the Hanzo here. Foolish, once again, rolling out on the Wu Yang. Tidal with the Ramatra. Didn't Touch Me. Rolling out with the Venture again. Chi making the interesting swap over to the Orisa with the last 6 seconds counting down before our next half begins. Laika rolling out. Lots of damage on the Orchard here at the beginning. Laika Northstar up for a difficult task on their defensive half this time around. D looking a little worse for wear on the bottom, trying to defend against Tidal, but that damage is coming in consistent and frequently. Orchard with the kill on the Shoreline Pie. Laika gets a kill onto Orchard though, and another onto Sovereign. You can see the soldiers, the Silvertal soldiers, putting in a lot of work to deny the value from Laika Northstar. And there's the payload unlock already. 5.5 minutes on the clock for Silvertal soldiers. Shoreline Pie with the kill onto Sovereign. Looking a bit worse for wear. Immediately we can see the back out. And she gets taken out by Shoreline Pie. Laika Northstar struggling quite a bit to hold things down. Overclock's ready to go for Shoreline Pie. But here comes the nano boost onto Orchard. Laika Northstar trying to regain their presence, but once again, forced passive by Laika. Chi making the swap over to the Ramatra here, ideally giving them something a bit stronger to work around. Shoreline Pie has that overclock though, looking for an opportunity to hop right back into the fight. Playing quiet, you know, this is a stealth game after all. There's the overclock. Already been called out though, has to be cautious of being focused. There's the crystal form, but it's not going to matter. Jin is able to get the blizzard off though. Orchard trying to find the kill on the Shoreline after popping their own overclock. Not going to be able to find value as the Annihilation comes out from Tidal and gets the kill onto Cyrena. Foolish with one onto Sovereign and Chi. And an amazing time for Northstar as they are just extraordinarily close to the 17-meter mark for the third capture point. They just have to go another 17, and they have 3.5 minutes to do it, making them very confident for where they're currently at. Foolish coming up on that Tidal Blast. Orchard with the kill on the Shoreline Pie. Sovereign having that Kitsune rush, looking for an opportunity to play forward here. But there's the excavation initiation from Didn't Touch Me. Losing Chi here could be the end of the game, but down goes Sovereign and Chi. There's the Tidal Blast coming out. Foolish with the kill on the Jin, using that ultimate, and it's just a couple meters away, and Silvertal Soldier is able to take the third map of the series, putting the score 2-1, and finding out that this is a best of 3 just by looking at this chat. So shout out to everybody for the first match. We'll be back with match 2 after a brief break. Congratulations to Silvertal Soldiers. Better luck next time to Laika Northstar. I love you guys, Laika. You guys are awesome. I love Silvertal Soldiers. You guys did awesome as well. We'll be back after a short break to see what happens in round 2 with our next match. Hey folks, just want to let you know I'm setting up the second match of the night, which is going to be Silly Cat Gaming going up against Illinois Tech. I'll have their information populated at the top. In the meantime, if you aren't aware, this is a charity stream for Frostgiving, supporting uh, suicide prevention, self-injury, addiction, and depression, which means that if you want to contribute to a great cause, click the link either in the chat from Nightbot, who has been timing out Corval all night for reasons unbeknownst to me, or go down beneath in the panel down there. You can click on that. It'll take you also to the campaign. Campaign does have benefits. In some of the teams that are playing tonight, they have special rules that will allow you to turn up a certain player's sensitivity, or even basically grief them the whole time. If you're interested in that, click that button down there. You can get all sorts of rewards for the stream, and I'll be back with information about the teams in a short moment.
When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the store. But if you really grab me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I saw that they were best of three now. Hi, Corval, by the way. Thank you for stopping in. I have been so scrambled because this is the last day of my semester at college as well. So I'm doing all sorts of stuff at the moment, a bit discombobulated, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm very excited to be doing this, regardless. But I do have a backup plan in case things go awry. So all things considered, stream's gonna keep going. I'm having a blast, and I hope everybody is as well. We're getting into lobby for the second match at the moment. So far, I believe Philly is still in the middle of a match, but Illinois is pretty much ready to go. So we're gonna be hopping into that any moment now. Just have to wrap up a handful of things before then.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yes, he's on his way. He's got toys all over the sleigh. Santa is coming to town. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful
Guys, doing another check-in while you listen. Platinus. Yes, I believe something is happening, but I am not entirely sure what it is. So I'm just kind of chilling, waiting for how it plays out. At the moment, we're still looking for, I believe, Silly Cat Gaming wrapping up their match. Just going to take another reminder here to remind you that you can donate either to the link that's been posted by Nightbot in chat or down below. There's a panel you can click on to Tiltify campaign. All sorts of bonuses and special rewards there. Custom banners made by Corval, actually, and lots of other information regarding what's next, like special effects in games. I know some players are intentionally ajaxing or turning up their sensitivity or maxing out the volume. So if that sounds like something you would like to have an impact on or make play with, click on the link or check out the panel down below, and we'll be back into the next match as soon as it's ready to go.
And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Melekaliki Maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Melekaliki Maka is Hawaii's way to say season, and Santa Claus is coming round. The Christmas snow is white on the ground. When old Santa gets into town, he'll be coming down the chimney down. It's the holiday season, and Santa Claus has got a toy for every good girl and good little boy. Santa's a great big bundle of joy when he's coming down the chimney down. He'll have a big fat pack upon his back, and lots of goodies for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. It's the holiday season, so hoop-dee-doo and dickory-dock, and don't forget to hang up your sock, 'cause just exactly at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll have a big fat pack upon his back, and lots of goodies for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. It's the holiday season, so hoop-dee-doo and dickory-dock, and don't forget to hang up your sock, 'cause just exactly at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney. Coming down the chimney. Coming down the chimney down. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the tree tops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Still on the quiet parts of the stream. So, what I recommend everybody do right now, go get, I don't know, some hot cocoa. It is the Christmas season. Or Merry Christmas Hana Kwanzaa, not a Christmas person. You've got and Kwanzaa as well. I'm sure, hot cocoa, go get some, cozy up, because I'm going to have Shlab music time. And it's going to go on loop because there's only about 10 songs. So if that drives you insane, I'm sorry. I think my voice would probably drive you insane faster. That's music, though. So just enjoy this over my voice. We are still awaiting the next match, so just a little bit more time and we'll be good to go. Okay, chat. Okay, chat. Last time for the updates. I know. I've hopped in like every 10 minutes now. But this time for real, alright, I'm pretty sure Silly Cat Gaming has just wrapped up their last match. Let me hang on. I can be a better commentator than this. Everyone, don't say anything. Their score has not been posted, so I have no idea who won that match or the Illinois match. So you know what? Let's just make up scores in our head. Everyone can put their predictions for who they think won, and we'll just say that that is the current record at the moment until I get more information. But there's one Silly Cat Gaming player in the match right now, so we're getting somewhere. There are things moving.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some corn for popping.
Everybody wake up. Everybody wake up. It's time to wake up. Everybody wake up. Illinois Tech versus Silly Cat Gaming. We're finally ready. Everybody's here. Everybody's locked in. It's time for round 2 here at NA for Frostgiving 2025. Just catching everybody up to speed, you know. If you watched our last map, Laika Northstar went up against the soldiers, and they, Laika Northstar, they put up a decent fight, but it was eventually a 2-1. We're headed over to our second match of the night, Illinois Tech, Silly Cat Gaming, kicking things off on Busan. 2 bands you should be aware of: Anna from Silly Cat Gaming and Tracer from Illinois Tech. Illinois Tech starting off on the Vendetta pick again. I love to see Vendetta in our competitive games and just in general, but that's for a different time. Baby Ball going in deep, trying to find a big slash on the Z-Cube here at the Mercy. Use Incognito, falling back a little bit, having to reset. First capture leaning towards Illinois Tech already. Big shots onto Freya, but gonna be able to get the kill anyway. Chinese agent with the kill on the Baby Ball. But we're still seeing that capture hold from Illinois Tech. Sochi with the kill onto Orish Hunter. Amp 8 with the kill onto Oscar, but the res, the Mercy coming in, finding value with Z-Cube on the Mercy here. And that capture is going to turn back around over to Silly Cat Gaming here. I want to take this moment to remind everybody that Frostgiving does have donation benefits. For whoever donates, you can redeem a Frostgiving custom-made banner, or, depending on the match and the players, some players are currently offering to throw their matches based off of your donation. They will either turn their volume all the way up to their max, or set their sensitivity to 5 times its normal amount, meaning that you could be the difference maker in any of these matches, like the one you're currently watching. Orish Hunter using that Kitsune Rush, and we can see the pressure coming in from Illinois Tech, while Z-Cube on the Mercy popping that Valkyrie. Incognito gets a kill on the Chinese agent, and immediately after, Baby Ball gets the kill on the Z-Cube. We're seeing a bit of a crumble there. And speaking of donations, shout out to Anonymous for another reward redemption there for the donation. Thank you for your donation so much to Frostgiving's charity event. Strike using the Tidal Blast. Newbie with the kill on the use Incognito, but trading out there. Amp 8 with the kill on the Sochi, and we're still seeing Illinois Tech hold on here. Baby Ball with the kill onto Oscar is hot, and Illinois Tech pulling ahead to the 60% capture line, using this, using our newly released Vendetta, putting in a decent amount of work so far. Orish Hunter forced off of the height. There's a lot of ultimates in pockets at the moment. Z-Cube with the swap over to the Mercy, though. We'll see how this plays out. Here comes the overclock from Use Incognito. Lots of damage. Baby Ball with the kill on to Newbie. Baby Ball immediately getting taken out, though. You can see Strike on the Wuyong. As that Tidal Blast, here comes the Kitsune Rush from Sochi. Amp 8 getting the kill there. Tidal Blast on the Reinhardt, gonna barely be able to save his life, but does just that. Orish Hunter popping the Kitsune Rush and going down. Z-Cube on the Moira finding value. Out comes the Vendetta ultimate, not able to get any big slams down, and a ton comes out from that Annihilation, though, as we can see Oscar is hot, putting in work with the help of Chinese agent. Finishing off right at the 99% overtime capture, going back over to Silly Cat Gaming. Right there at the end, they're trying to pull back ahead on their lead at the 50 percentile mark here, while the rest of Illinois Tech resets. Getting ready to go back in for another fight. We can see that Silly Cat Gaming has a pretty big ult advantage over Illinois Tech at the moment. D-Cube coming up on that Moira Coalescence. High Noon popped by Chinese agent. Looking for value. Gets the kill on a Baby Ball. As a result, we can see a lot of value from Silly Cat Gaming. Shout out to AliWally47 for redeeming another donation reward. Frostgiving themed banner. Thank you so much for your donation, AliWally47. You can see Amp having that Earth Shatter ready to go. Big slam down. Gets the kill onto the Freya. The Bola does find damage onto Baby Ball, though. Amp with the kill onto Sochi. Orish Hunter with a kill onto Chinese Agent. And as a result, without an opportunity to stall, Amp 8 doesn't make it to the point in time. That first round going over to Silly Cat Gaming. That's going to put our score over to Silly Cat Gaming after a bit of a reversal from Illinois Tech. Illinois Tech put in a decent amount of work there, but they weren't quite able to get those closing moments. Seeing a swap from Z-Cube, but once again, another support roster swap over to the Lucio this time around.
Everyone stick together. We can do this.
Headed into our second round of Busan. We're going to see some pretty consistent picks from both teams. Looking at the Lucio Baptiste pick, which is a bit of an interesting combination. It makes sense for the second point on Baptiste, gives him some height to play on, but has to be cautious of getting pressured out, especially with the picks that we see on Silly Cat Gaming side. Both teams immediately going for the skirmish on the height. And down goes most of Silly Cat Gaming, allowing Illinois Tech to actually get the first capture once again. Both teams getting ready to pressure each other out, trying to pressure each other out of height here. Chinese Agent on the Mei. Oscar is hot, finding a kill on the Use Incognito. Silly Cats playing forwards here. Both teams starting to approach some ultimates as well. Won't be too long before then. Silly Cat Gaming on the point. Gonna get that recapture. There's still 30% to nothing, so it's going to be a bit of a wall to climb, especially with the re-aggression coming in from Illinois Tech here. Orange Thunder with the kill. Trying to follow up with some more Baby Ball, slashing and hacking and slashing onto Oscar is hot, trying to find a kill anywhere. Incognito with one onto Sochi, followed with Oscar is hot and Chinese Agent all going down. Orange Hunter with the final kill onto Z-Cube. And it's looking strong for Illinois Tech as they are able to maintain their hold. Rolling out with that high noon on Newberry. You can see the overclock come out from Use Incognito. Finds one onto Z-Cube. Incognito finding another one onto Sochi. Baby Ball's in there, finding value on Chinese Agent, but Cassidy blocking him out once again. Oscar is hot. Could go for a sack play on what could have possibly used Annihilation there, but with the rest of the team completely separated. It looked like Oscar was the only one that went through main there, or mid, instead of playing through left or right side. As a result, it's going to be another reset from Silly Cat Gaming headed into the next fight. We do see lots of ultimates on the board, though. Could be a massive ult exchange coming up with that sound barrier on. Ghost Strike. There is the big slam from Baby Ball, though, getting the kill onto Z-Cube. Out comes the sound barrier from Ghost Strike. Despite the blizzard, it's going to be able to sustain most of Illinois Tech. Have to be cautious, though. Amp does get blizzarded a little bit. They're still going to be able to survive. Ramantra's health pool really showing its strength. The overtime ticks down. Annihilation is in Amp's pocket. Going to use it up against Oscar. Oscar does go down. Z-Cube, the only one that could potentially have a touch, is rounding around the corner but gets locked out by the Vendetta. And the second round goes over to Illinois Tech, putting the first map 1-1, headed into our map points on the third point of Busan.
I carry my burdens alone.
All right. Seeing another support swap by Z Cube here. And as the point unlocks, see which team makes it there first. Both teams rolling out. Hyper the Worst. I believe that's a $100 donation from Hyper the Worst. I'm just now seeing that. Hyper, thank you so much for $101.69. Taking the top donation spot. Thank you so much for your donation. That means a lot to everyone at Frostgiving. We see a headshot kill on a Coast Strike pretty much out of the gate there. Another one following up on the Orish Hunter. Orish Hunter with a kill onto ZQ, but just trades out with the Sojourns, getting a couple of kills each. Baby Ball coming back in on the Vendetta with that first capture. Going over to Silly Cat Gaming. So getting kind of pressured out there. Oscar is hot, playing on the point, has to pop armor to stay up, but in the back, it's Baby Ball, slashing on Vendetta. So overwhelmed by the damage, is going to go down. Baby Ball not quite able to get the finishing blow onto the soldier. As we see another Vendetta pop out, I didn't even realize, swapping off the soldier to go to the Vendetta. Chinese agent with the kill on the Coast Strike. Both Ramatras duking it out on the point, punching each other back and forth. But Oscar's going to be the one that goes down. Amp still able to hold on to the pressure, but they haven't quite made the capture yet. Illinois Tech just now able, still not quite able to log it down. The stalls from Silly Cat Gaming are consistent. Finally, nearly the 50% mark. The stalls give up. Amplification Matrix from Orish Hunter as the rest of Silly Cat Gaming goes for the reset. Once again, we can see both Vendettas looking for value. Out comes the Amplification Matrix with the Tactical Visor from Chinese Agent. Gets a kill on the Baby Ball. Lots of pressure coming in, especially with Use Incognito popping out that overclock. We see trades going between both Vendettas going down. And down goes Chinese Agent as well with Use Incognito looking for more blood. But here comes the Coalescence from Z-Cube trying to stall the fight a little bit longer for Silly Cat Gaming. But they aren't going to be able to find the touch. Down currently both of their damages. But there's Use Incognito once again on the flank, finding more value. As a result, Silly Cat Gaming coming down to the wire. They don't have a lot on the board, just a couple of ultimates to work with, which is about the same as Illinois Tech, but Illinois Tech has the ult advantage with the Wuyong not too far behind on that title blast. Here comes Baby Ball with the big slam on Vendetta, getting the kill onto Z-Cube. Use Incognito follows up with one of the Soche, the 75% counting down as Incognito gets another onto Oscar, running for his life as Soldier 76. Chinese Agent doesn't make it though. Incognito predicting that, building up the railgun specifically for that final moment. 83% ticking down. We can see Z-Cube making the swap over to the Lucio. Has to be fast. Teams rotating through the right as fast as possible, trying to pressure out through main. Annihilation is available for both Ramatras here, but are they going to have a touch with 95% counting down? Z-Cube gets followed with the Annihilation pop from Oscar. Oscar is hot, makes it onto the point, popping the Annihilation just to travel. But there's just so much pressure. It's ult after ult. There comes the title blast. The damage is overwhelming. Silly Cat Gaming doesn't have an opportunity to touch. The overtime ticks down, and the first map goes over to Illinois Tech of our Frostgiving round 2. We'll be right back with map 2 after a short break to see which team could potentially take it all the way.
sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
All right, folks, are you ready for map 2? Because Silly Cat Gaming and Illinois Tech are with, some fun bans. Illinois Tech banning the Mercy because, why not? Z-Cube was on Mercy, now they're on Winston. That is exactly how that works. It makes perfect sense to me. On the other hand, though, we can see Silly Cat Gaming went for the ban over the Sojourn, Tired of getting railed, if you might say. Z-Cube looking to pressure height right out of the gate. Amp on the Sigma, and let me tell you, Sigma's in a state of absolute destruction. Something that Sigma was thinking about recently made him extraordinarily strong, so there's potential for a lot of pressure there. Chinese agent, and you know what? They literally told us during pre-match that they just mashed their keyboard. So I'm just going to call them whatever hero they're playing. Tracer in the back, Amp with the kill onto Z-Cube. Coast-Strike getting the kill onto Tracer there. And the fight leans towards Illinois Tech, despite the fact that there were some solid picks from Silly Cat Gaming. It's just not quite going to be enough for them to really pressure. Baby Ball also getting a kill right there at the end. We see Oscar, making the swap over to Wu Yang. You know how Oscar is, surely, after the Ramatra from last match. 2.5 minutes to play offensively here, and Amp is on the height once again. If we take a look over at Cassidy playing a stealth game, going to be able to survive, but a lot of pressure comes out from Z-Cube, who really does not want Cassidy to stand tall. Chinese agent has the duplicate going in. Lots of damage. Gets one of the Orish Hunter. There's the copy onto the Sigma. This is chance for lots of damage. But Baby Ball has that nano boost in the back. It's just not quite enough what they're looking for. Chinese agent with the kill onto Amp. Baby Ball way deep in the back still, trying to catch up. Finds a big slash onto Winston. Z-Cube is dead! The Gravitic Flux comes out, but gets canceled out of it by Chinese agent. Despite that, down goes Baby Ball. Silly Cat Gaming able to kind of take the fight in a very scattered way, but they do it nonetheless, getting the payload 60 meters, a minute and a half on the clock. There's definitely a time for a touch. Here comes Amp 8 playing around the corner, feeling a bit scared when realistically just pressure him out, Go for it. Use that Tidal Blast to engage if you need to. Coast-Strike has it, can go for it. Giving up more space, and there's Amp dropping down now. Baby Ball gets the ult instead. Baby Ball's in there, gets slapped. Immediately just absolutely nuked by Soche on the Ana, just locking them out. Big Gravitic Flux, though, gets a kill onto Freya. Incognito with the Deadeye playing on the height. Baby Ball ready to go with another big slash. Out comes the ult from the Freya. And here comes the Vendetta ultimate though. Big slash, not quite able to find the right target though. Using Cognito with the Deadeye, trying to get the lock onto Z-Cube. Big damage onto Winston. The Z-Cube extraordinarily low, running away. 30 seconds on the clock, but not a lot of pressure. They need to find picks if they want to stay in the fight. Amp gets one of the Sochibe. Here comes the duplicate from Chinese agent. Lots of chaos ensues. Freya gets the kill on the Brigitte here. Ghost Strike still up, though. We can see the pressure from Illinois Tech isn't conceding against Silly Cat Gaming. Ghost Strike gets both of those sticky shots from the Freya, though. Despite that, still in the fight. Here comes Wrecking Ball. Rolling around. We're in the overtime now. Silly Cat Gaming just has to lock in for a few more meters in order to capture first. But here comes the rally. Z-Cube's down. Overtime's ticking. There's the Tidal Blast, but they don't have a touch. They get knocked down. And that concedes the first half as Illinois Tech takes a very definitive first half against Silly Cat, preventing them from even getting the first capture. Oh, okay. Thank you, Hyper the Worst, for that. Also, Hyper the Worst, you're here. I just want to say once again, thank you for your $100 donation. Taking that top donation spot, absolutely, absolutely worth that. I can't believe that. Did they? Okay, I'll be completely honest. I didn't know there was a hotfix today. I'm wrapping up um my college semester today, and so I've been so out of the loop. But that's crazy that they had to hotfix Sigma's damage back down. Okay, heard. All right, well, we're headed into the second half now, and Silly Cat Gaming, you know, it's a little rough for them at the moment. Amp rolling out on that Sigma really just hurt quite a bit. Use Incognito, bang with the Reaper, trying to find some value here, and we can see that Illinois Tech's trying to do what Silly Cat Gaming did last time, which means Silly Cat Gaming should be completely aware of their game, completely aware of what they can do. And as that winds down, we're heading into the second half. The walls fall immediately. Freya sending out a couple of those charge shots, coming back around the corner. We can see Baby Ball still running it down on Vendetta. Baby Ball with another slash. We can see they're trying to pressure Hype, but it's going to be a bit difficult playing up against that Sigma on Chinese Agent. Shout out to Z-Cube playing the Torbjorn on the hill here. Got the Life Weaver pulled out from Orish Hunter as well. That's a great way to get on top of Hype. And they're all in. Amp's on the ground. And Amp is almost out of there. What a pull from Orish Hunter. Oscar is hot with the kill on a Baby Ball. Silly Cat Gaming is doing what Illinois Tech did to them. Freya getting 2 kills onto Amp, and then Co-Strike. 3 minutes counting down. Throwing that rock. The use Incognito is out of there. Newberry with the kill on to use Incognito. We're looking to see Silly Cat Gaming hold this defensively, but it's looking a bit challenging. You know, 3 minutes on the clock. They just have one team fight that if they lose, it could seal their fate. Sigma taking a decent amount of damage. Amp 8 getting really locked up, but the huge sleep there from Orish Hunter saves Amp's life. Now going back in with the pressure, we can see Freya has her Bola ultimate. Getting the kill on the Baby Ball, completely shutting down Baby Ball once again. Illinois Tech feeling some of that pressure offensively as Baby Ball's not able to find the value they would like. Amp also taking a ton of damage. There's the Bola. It hits the top of the cart. There's a big Gravitic Flux coming in from Chinese Agent. Gets the kill on the Orish Hunter. Freya gets one of the Amp, though. Silly Cat Gaming, once again, holding down defensively. 2 minutes on the clock. And Sigma is still showing how offensive he can be. Despite, as you mentioned, the hotfix. Really being extraordinarily oppressive up against Illinois Tech at the moment. Idle Blast ready to go from Co-Strike again, diving in, looking for an angle. This is an opportunity for Illinois Tech to make their big push. Once again, it's coming down to essentially a single team fight for Silly Cat Gaming. But they are consistently winning those team fights up against Illinois Tech. The question is, can they do that with the Nano Boost on the Winston, diving into the back. Freya feeling the pressure, but not quite not able to get the final blow. Never mind, I lied. Amp gets it. Now, out comes Molten Core from Z-Cube, Kitsune Rush from Oscar. Here comes the Tidal Blast onto Baby Ball, and this is the team fight I was talking about. Chinese Agent goes down, Z-Cube is down as well. As a result, 60 seconds on the clock, but they have on the cart, rounding the first corner. If they're able to lock them out for the rest of this duration, we could see Illinois Tech take it all the way home in our second round. Coming up with the Nano Boost on Soche, use Incognito as the Reaper Death Blossom. But still, a decent amount of ultimates, especially with Baby Ball coming up on the big Vendetta Slam. Out comes the Bola. There's the Nano Boost on the Chinese Agent. but Chinese Agent gets taken out instead. As a result, Illinois Tech is still in there, and with 4 meters counting down, does anyone have a touch? There's the Reaper Death Blossom from Use Incognito. No one from Silly Cat Gaming is able to make it there, and as a result, Illinois Tech takes the second map, putting the score 2-0 at the end of the series. Folks, that's going to wrap up our second round, but there's still 2 more rounds to go. We're going to take a bit of a break and give everybody some chance to relax. I'm going to set up the overlays for the third game, and we'll be back after a short break.
Wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time. Oh, the most wonderful time of the year. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to Melekaliki-maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Melekaliki-maka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Dying Viper, for the $35 donation. We're about to head into our third map. I just want to let everybody know I don't actually have overlays, or not overlays, but team logos for either of these. So you've got Silvertal Soldiers and Path to Scrims. I also don't have team colors for Path to Scrims, so we're just reusing a lot of information, what I have to go off of. But the names are up there, and I think that'll be a decent amount to run off of. Yeah, we'll be back with round 3 after a short break. Just need to get some more stuff done.
Melekaliki-maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Whoa, Melekaliki-maka is Hawaii's way to say, oh, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas, to say Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, folks, I'm going to fix the logos up there, but we're headed into the first map of match 3, or round 3. Path to Scrims going up against Silvertal Soldiers. You've got both of your bands up there with the Diva from Silvertal Soldiers and Path to Scrims banning the Freya. Just getting tired of seeing Freya, I assume. Seen a lot of Freya picks over the course of the night, so it makes perfect sense to get a little bit of Freya fatigue. Opening up with a short pipeline on the Widowmaker again. Now, if you've been following my coverage specifically, you're a bit familiar with Silvertal, as they did this exact rollout during the last game of theirs that I commentated. headed over with this first capture leaning towards Silvertal soldiers already. We fix the header. Boom. There we go. Once again, don't have logos for these teams. We got the names and the bands. Hopefully that gives a decent amount of information of what we're looking at. You can see Silvertals themselves. It's the Silvertals. Execution on the Doomfist here. Aeroplane playing the Lucio. Take a look at that perspective. Oh, didn't touch me, getting the kill on Nakaro and Sifs right out of the gate. It's a bit tough for the composition that they're playing. Didn't touch me, gets 3 kills on Vendetta there, and already getting nearly a 40% capture from Silvertals. Really putting the brakes on any of the plays that Path to Scrims had planned to make. Now, I do want to remind everybody that there are some donations available that can actually impact how these players play. And we are actually with the teams that can be affected by this. Now, if you click on the link, either in the chat from Nightbot or down at the bottom of the panel, you will see some of these abilities. Now, if you look from here, we can see Aeroplane Path to Scrims player can no longer hit the S key for the rest of map point. All right, now that's a big one. That one is $3 for the fundraiser. Doc, have Doc player on Path to Scrim take a shot of happiness. That's all it says. I don't know what that means. Flex player for Path to Scrim will have their sense turned up 5 times the donation per donation. So, you know, if you want to make the flex player for Path to Scrim suffer, you can do that. Sifs has to play the map on max volume, so it has to be as loud as possible, and make Caro play with an ult jax, so intentionally messing up their ultimate or dying with their ultimate. So if you want to capitalize and make your money influence the game directly, you can use that. Anyway, I was doing all that yapping, and well, Path to Scrims lost the first point to Silvertal soldiers. You know, it was a bit of a slaughter, a lot of pressure coming in against them. Can't really blame them too much for a lot of that, but you know, they are also playing Widow, Doomfist. You know, it's an interesting lineup. It's a lineup for the ages. Definitely one worth seeing as well. We have also but recently passed the $700 threshold. I want to thank everybody who's given anything tonight, now that we've passed the $700 threshold. This is still going for another 2 days, so thank you so much for getting us this far, this close, and we're excited to see where Frostgiving takes us next. Opening up, didn't touch me, using the sim teleport out. We see Sifs matching the Vendetta here. Aeroplane on the Lucio, getting some big damage in, but also taking some big damage. Tidal putting in some big work there. Gets a handful of kills, but both teams actually even 3-3. The capture is still leaning toward Silvertal's soldiers. Tidal with the kill on the Flexecution, and Sifs going down by Tidal as well. Sifs on the Vendetta again, going for a big slash, not quite able to catch up the Tidal. Tidal on the way out, might not survive. We're gonna get that Suzu from Silvertals. And there's a Tidal getting a kill on the Aeroplane, but Flexecution finding one on the Silvertal, and Sifs, I'm not entirely sure what happened to Sifs there. Seems to have fallen into the great green abyss. Shoreline Pie, just chilling here, just big shot, huge shot there from Shoreline Pie. Doc coming up on the Twin Dragons from for Hanzo here, looking for an opportunity to use that. Shoreline Pie getting knocked out of the sky. Here comes the chance from Path to Scrims, trying to lock in. Shoreline Pie with a kill onto Sifs. Infrasight comes out, folks. Tidal getting ready to use the downpour. Has it in the roster. Out comes the Twin Dragons. from Doc, and it gets a kill onto Didn't Touch Me, but Tidal is still on a rampage with one on the Doc and Aeroplane immediately after. Tidal with a kill on to Sifs. Aeroplane getting very pressured by Tidal once again. Out comes the downpour. It hits Doc and Aeroplane apparently. That is a very interesting reach there for Hazard. Okay, Tidal jumping into the pit and coming right back out. Once again, Hazard acting like an elastic wristband. Silvertal is getting the double kill on the Carol and Sifs as that 90% ticks down. And as a result, we're going to see Path to Scrims concede the first map up against Silvertal Soldiers, putting the score 1-0 in Silvertal Soldiers' side. Well, we will be back. We will be back with map 2 after a short break to see if, you know, Path to Scrims wants to, you know, destroy Silvertal Soldiers, or Silvertal Soldiers takes it all the way. Alright, folks, it's map 2 of the series where Path to Scrims is going up against Silvertal soldiers. And, well, it's been an interesting start to the series so far. But we're headed into Shambali Monastery with match point on the board. I'm gonna see who takes this one home, but so far, you know, it's been a bit of an interesting one. We saw some very non-conventional picks from Path to Scrims in the last round, but now we're seeing some different ones. First and foremost, I just gotta point it out. They banned Lucio because they hate Aeroplane. No, that's kidding. I'm kidding. They banned Lucio because Aeroplane was on Lucio, and Aeroplane requested the ban on Vendetta. So, you know, it's all turning in different directions for Path to Scrims as they are rolling out with a bit of an interesting composition again. But Doc's on the Widowmaker. Playing on low ground Widow isn't terrible, but it's going to be a bit harder to play around the corners. Aeroplane making the swap over to the Juno here. Shoreline high, already getting a bit hurt. Didn't touch me with the kill onto Doc. Idol pushing in. Bit of a slow start so far as the soldiers are going to be starting out on the defensive hold. Diffs playing on the left side with Flexecution. Diffs with the kill on the title. Silvertals and Flexecution getting a couple of kills out there as Aeroplane flies into the ground. Didn't touch me, popping the Bastion and beating the gravity, the black hole there. Flexecution now in a very healthy spot. Silvertals, what an interesting ult pop there from the Bastion. Gotta say, I think I understand the mentality, but unfortunately wasn't necessarily in a position to find the value that they were probably hoping to find with it. Carol with the amplification matrix there. Diffs with the kill on the Silvertals. Didn't touch me. Gets taken up by Carol. That amplification matrix putting in a lot of work for Path to Scrims. Out comes the tidal blast onto the Freya. Poor Baptiste just really did not want Carol alive. Poor Carol just got absolutely captured in a vortex of disastrous creation. Despite that, Silvertus soldiers not going to be able to. Actually, they are going to be able to slow down a little bit, but they're not going to be able to hold on to first point. Doc with the kill on the Foolish. And that puts 4 minutes on the clock. You know, Path to Scrims, they're showing their strength now. This is a big moment for them. There's the nano boost on the Didn't Touch Me. And let's see how... Oh, okay, there's a kill on the Sifs, and Arrow, look out! Getting absolutely surrounded, but there's the black hole from the Sigma, keeping them alive, and there's Doc popping out that Blizzard. Gets a handful of freezes, Didn't Touch Me, and you know, very separated, gonna go down as a result. Tidal trying to hold on as we can see a bit of backing up from Silvertus. Oh, never mind, here comes the big Gravitic Flux, down goes Doc, Shoreline with the kill onto Arrow as well. Tidal finishing off Flexecution. Shoreline back on the Freya again, has the bolas ready to go. Two ultimates on the board. Aeroplane coming up on the orbital ray. Out comes the overclock from Sifs, playing in, going up against Tidal. Big damage, down goes Tidal, and Didn't Touch Me. Aeroplane gets taken out by Shoreline in the back though. And there is the Bola ultimate from Shoreline by again getting the kill on the Sifs. Just absolutely destroying anyone who comes nearby. You know what? Small bomb thrown at their face if they get too close to the Freya. Touch Me rolling back out Silvertas. Coming up on that nano boost. Oh, well, there's amplification matrix pop as Carol went down. Out comes the orbital ray from Aeroplane trying to put in value. Going around the corner, able to keep everyone but Sifs up to that artillery barrage. And here comes the tidal blast. No stuns, but the pressure is still there. Execution holding on for dear life. Eventually goes down to Didn't Touch Me. Shoreline with the kill onto Caro, and Tidal pushing out offensively again. 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Shoreline Pie once again has that bola. So far, Shoreline Pie has just used that for, you know what, I need to delete someone that's really close to me. Getting a lot of damage onto Flexecution already at a difficult spot. Execution trying to pressure out Shoreline Pie. Shoreline Pie doesn't make their jump out. Throws for the rock, but Didn't Touch Me getting the kill on the Dark and Sifs. While Flexecution was doing all that, it's Silvertal's just crushing the weight of the world on top of Path to Scrims. 1 minute left on the clock. Path to Scrims coming out now. Potentially could be their last team fight, especially with how long it can take to reset on Shambali. Trying to play through the right side again. Out comes the Gravitic Flux. It gets the grab, but there's the bola. Captures Sifs. Doesn't get any kills. Immortality Field puts in work. Flexecution finds one of Silvertal's. Here comes Path to Scrims making their way inside, but Tidal still has that Gravitic Flux, and here it comes. Missing entirely. That hurts quite a bit as Tidal is immediately punished for that loss of pressure. May finding value, but Didn't Touch Me with a triple kill again onto Aeroplane, Caro, and Sifs. Didn't Touch Me with a follow-up kill onto Flexecution. Out comes the artillery barrage from Didn't Touch Me, slamming down on the ground and finding a kill onto Doc as their chance to touch with the Tracer isn't going to happen. And with no one on the cart, the match counts down. This is going to be our side swap. First capture point, 92 meters from Path to Scrims. They're in a difficult spot, not able to get a whole lot of what they would like. Means headed over to the side swap now. Path to Scrims needs to have a pretty strong defense. I talked about this not during this event, not during Frostgiving, but if you've been following me as my coverage, Shambali Monastery definitely struggles a bit on that second point. It's not uncommon for teams to get stuck right up in this very interior, long vertical stretch. If you're offensive, you're effectively playing at a height disadvantage throughout the entirety of the second capture point. So it's very understandable to get caught here, and that does make it harder to play offensively. But we'll see. There's still a chance that Silvertal soldiers can pull out against Path to Scrims and beat their record. Looking at our compositions to line up, again, I think pretty much the same stuff. Silvertal's Foolish. They've got all of their stuff ready to go. Aeroplane debating what to play. Looks like going to go for the Baptiste pick here. Supertals on the Zenyatta. Potentially could actually play it. I mean, we saw Aeroplane on the Zenyatta, at least for about 20 seconds. Could be doing it just to avoid Hanzo, though. We'll see as the walls prepare to fall. Silvertals making their way out now. Once again, both tanks mirroring over on the Sigma. 3.5 minutes on the clock to start things out. Tidal already decently low, but that barrier is going to allow for a reset. Immortality Field out on Doc on the Symmetra here. Here comes Tidal playing on the card on the right-hand side. Sifs extraordinarily low, surviving by a wing and a prayer. Through the left-hand side is a bunch of pressure onto Flexecution and Aeroplane. We can see, Didn't Touch Me is going for a vacation. Shoreline, Foolish, and Tidal getting multiple kills up against Path to Scrims, eventually getting the team kill. Didn't Touch Me is going for a stroll. Let's follow, let's see where Bastion's going. Just like the cinematic, has a place that Bastion needs to get to. Didn't Touch Me is going all the way around in the back. Close to spawn now, going on a big adventure. Meanwhile, Shoreline Pie with the bola. There's the bola pick. And didn't touch me. Absolutely jumping Caro. And Doc. Where did didn't touch me come from? Everyone's got to be asking. Getting the triple kill there. Just absurd. You know, just spent the full 30 seconds walking around the entire point. You know what? It found value despite the fact. Okay, all right. So we've got one on the cart. Let's take a look at Silvertal's. Oh, meanwhile, on the front line, we can see Tidal Blast coming out. Down goes Flexecution. Tidal, with the Gravitic Flux there, gets a big slam onto Sifs. And, you know, Path to Scrims, they're struggling a bit here. Scoreline going for a bit of a reset here. Aeroplane going down. Here comes the artillery barrage. Look out, Silvertals! Look out! There's the bola. On top of the other Freya. Tidal goes down. And I mean, you know, that was certainly one of the matches of all time to behold. Silvertal's soldiers getting the kills there. Shots for charity from Aeroplane there. What an interesting match. Easily our most interesting by far, but that's going to cover it for round 3. We'll be back with round 4 to see what happens next with these teams, because if we have more matches like that, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to keep up with the commentating after a short break.
There's a happy feeling nothing in the world
while we're in between our third and fourth round, just want to remind everybody that there is donation available through Nightbot or the panel down there at the bottom. You click that link down below, it takes you straight to the campaign. All sorts of ways to give and donate through there in our first of a 3-day event. There are some additional bonuses for donating in the last match. Potentially, if you donated, you could have done something special like ult jaxing or along that lines. For this match, there is still availability for a Frostgiving themed banner for just $5. You can get that, or if you just feel like giving out of the goodness of your heart, it's all available to you right down there in the panel or the link on the right hand side of the stream. I'm going to be doing this 2 more days this week, so be prepared for more charity stuff. Be prepared for more Frostgiving. You'll have plenty of opportunities to make someone ult jax if you haven't already. We're about to get started with the 4th round of Hypnos NA versus Celestial Divide after a short break. Alright folks, I hope you're ready for our 4th match of the night. We're headed into Hypnos NA versus Celestial Divide. And we're headed on to Busan. You know, it's the 2nd time tonight we've seen Busan, and we're going to see how each of these teams perform in this environment. Chase rolling out on the Wrecking Ball to start things off. Couple of bans. You can see them in the top right and left. Ban onto a Vendetta from Celestial Divide, and a ban onto Hypnos from... ban onto Ramatra from Hypnos, not Hypnos from Ramatra. Ramatra does not like the team of Hypnos, apparently. Seta with the kill onto Sicardo to start things off. A very strong first kill. As the point begins to unlock. And pretty much uncontested, that capture is going to go over to Hypnos. Lucio trying to bully the Widow in the back there. Berlin's gonna get the kill on Seta. Boop as well. We've got a Lucio named Boop in the match. It's actually just incredible. Bit of a back and forth start with both teams now contesting the point, but it's still leaning towards Hypnos. Days coming up on the landmines already with the Wrecking Ball. Both tanks rolling out on Wrecking Ball as well. Now this seems like a match that I would do extraordinarily poorly in, considering I can't aim, and I would have no sense of tracking the ball. Sicardo gets taken out by Boop. St. Lazarus playing back with Tim Sheely. Tito with the kill onto Beast of Heaven. And almost getting the kill onto the ball right there at the end. Chase knocking him back into spawn. Has the minefield. Potentially looking to pop those mines right out of the gate. Yep. 90% on the capture for Hypnos in A already. Boop with the kill onto St. Lazarus. Sicardo coming up on that pulse bomb. Looking for a chance to use it. Misses. Throws it through the window. Torbjorn has never been happier. Boop has the sound barrier, trying to finalize the kill onto Sicardo, but there isn't going to be a touch from Celestial Divide, which means the first point capture going over to Hypnos in A, and a strong start to our fourth round.
I prefer to work alone, but I suppose you will do.
All right, headed into our second round. Chase in the swap off of the ball over to the Roadhog here to kick things off. No, Overwatch players get really antsy when they have to wait 5 seconds, so it's really important to punch the wall until the glass could figuratively break. Walls fall, headed into the second round. Naku once again rolling out on the Tracer pick. Diving in deep, trying to find that value onto Tim. We can see Silent Lazarus with the kill onto Boop. Tim Sheely once again on that Kiriko, building up ults as they can. Beast of Heaven already taken out of the fight. Headed into the next engagement. We see Sita get the kill onto St. Lazarus. Once again, slowing down the pressure that Celestial Divide has. Sita taking it high into the sky, though. Gets a drop shot onto Beast of Heaven. Tim Sheely a little scared of pressuring that, and I would be too after seeing what Sita did. But here comes Berlin is mid. Able to get a kill, but immediately getting taken out by Naku. Chase practicing Kovacs at the moment, trying to get a kill onto Sicardo, following up with another onto Beast of Heaven. We're seeing Hypnos really lock down up against Celestial Divide so far. See the rollout coming back from Sita as the fight begins to re-engage. Chase missing the hook, and Tim Sheely just disappearing out of the fight there.
Feels like something, huh? Sniper, don't get shot.
Silent with the kill onto Sicardo. St. Lazarus with another onto Silent. And a bit of a slow fight for Celestial Divide, as they haven't quite been able to capitalize on any real momentum. Once again, still trying to reset. Naku with the kill onto St. Lazarus. There's the infrasight pop from Sita, but gets taken out pretty quickly. There's the mine. Mines are ready for Berlin is mid. This is the last stand for Celestial Divide to get the hack onto Naku. Followed up with the kill. 75% on the capture, but we can see pulse bombs up on Sicardo. Berlin is mid, ready to go with that minefield now. Naku ready to go with the pulse bomb, wrapping around the corner. Berlin is mid with the kill on to Silent. Celestial Divide still struggling to hold on to the cart. Pulse Bomb gets a kill onto Boop. Berlin is mid is still there. Now that they have the capture, they have to hold on to it for nearly the entirety of the round. Any form of recapture could spell the end. Berlin is mid gets a great kill on the chase. Celestial Divide starting to show their hand, putting themselves on the board. Very solid change of pace, and one that they desperately need. Here comes the ult pops from Boop and Chase. Big value from Chase, getting one on the Tim Sheely. Trying to focus out Berlin is mid, but Wrecking Ball's mobility is going to allow them to get away. Boop with the double kill there on Lucio as well, meaning that the point could very easily flip-flop back over. Silent gets the cap for Hypnos. It's 80%, counting down, running out of time for Celestial Divide. Berlin is mid, once again, ready with that minefield. Pops the minefield. trying to sustain on the point. Trying to reverse the capture, but here comes the pressure. The tidal blast is out from Silent. Not able to help Silent, though. Silent gets run over by a speeding car. This Beast of Heaven also gets one on the scene. The point flips again, 99 to 60. And good news for Celestial Divide is that they still have at least one ult in their pocket. St. Lazarus with that sound barrier. Berlin is mid with the kill on the Naku. Silent with the kill on the Sikahardo. Chase rolling out on the Doomfist isn't going to be able to make a lot of space with it. Did it with a kill on to Beast of Heaven, and here comes the sound barrier from St. Lazarus, putting in work as the last 10% of the capture counts down. Boop! Running away for dear life. Almost doesn't make it out. St. Lazarus now being chased by Naku instead, forcing out the recall, but there's contesting on the cart with Chase making it there, coming down to 99.99 for both teams. This is the map point dealer right here. But it looks like Celestial Divide is going to be able to close things out, tying our first map 1-1 here, and setting the standard for the rest of the match. Headed into our map points, seeing which team will pull ahead. So far, a bit of a back and forth for both of our teams. Neither of them in a spot to necessarily show complete dominance over the other, especially after that last display from Celestial Divide. You see the ball pick from Chase again. Ready for the rollout. Theta ready to go. Diving in with Vendetta. Boop with the kill onto St. Lazarus, starting off strong for Hypnos. Berlin playing with the Junker Queen, trying to find value there. Big stick with the bleed, but Seda gets the kill onto Beast of Heaven. Getting down to there, gonna have to play for a reset, but Berlin almost getting completely trapped out. That Suzu comes in the nick of time, saving their life. You know, I might have the bans wrong. Let's check real quick. I could be completely wrong. It's Brig. I'm sorry. It's Brig, not Vendetta. That's on me. Let me switch that over to Brig. I thank you for pointing that out. I will fix that real quick. Vendetta was in the last map and I just forgot to update it. Anyway, set it back on the Vendetta here, trying to dive back in. Chase with the kill onto Beast of Heaven. Berlin with the pick on the Junker Queen has the Rampage, but the capture is still leaning toward Hypnos. Out comes Rampage there, Silent with the kill on the Tim Sheely. Berlin with a kill on to Seta, and there's a lot of value from Celestial, but unfortunately the rest of Celestial is dead, leaving just Berlin to hold the fort down, finding value again and again with another kill on the Boop, going for another, and the Naku. Naku has to run for their life as the rest of Celestial trickles back in. Did it with a kill on the Beast of Heaven, trying to fight the Tracers in the back. Naku does eventually win by the help of Sita, using that Vendetta ultimate. 1-2 kills. Chase gets the kill on the Tim Sheila, and down goes Berlin. 80% on the capture progress now for Hypnos. What is the last chance that Celestial has? They have to make it to the point. It's being locked down very well by the Hypnos at the moment. I have that Kitsune rush. It comes out. Wait, I think Kitsune might have Ajax. Sita tried to play onto the point. There's a bit of a contestment there. Chase is aura farming on Wrecking Ball. And there is the capture. They're putting the score 2-1. Hypnos takes the first map up against Celestial Divide. A bit of an interesting, start to our second half. Both teams were able to get at least one on the board, meaning that, you know, there's definitely potential for Celestial Divide. And I mean, look at Berlin put in an amazing amount of value on Junker Queen here. We'll be back with map 2 after a short break.
On a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright.
To be completely honest with you, I do not know SRs, and that's a little out of my pay grade. All I know is that this is a charity event, so SR isn't going to play a large portion in the display that we're seeing here. I mean, Chase is, you know, playing in a very interesting way. All these players are here for the fun of the game. They're here for the charity event. They're here for Frostgiving, which you can contribute to. There's a link in the chat right next to Nightbot there. Additionally, there's a panel down in the bottom. You can click to the link. It'll take you to the campaign, and depending on the match, depending on the team, these teams will actually grow depending on your donation. Currently, that team is not currently playing. That was in our last match for round 3. But if you're still looking for some rewards out of your donation, you can redeem a Frostgiving banner for the low price of $5, tailored to your username and the hero that you would like on the banner. So yeah, everyone's just kind of messing around. We're having a great time at the Frostgiving 2025 charity stream. This is our last match of the night as well. We'll be back with the second map in just a moment to see if Hypnos will pull ahead, or if Hypnos will take the entire series, or if Celestial Divide will put something on the board.
When old Santa gets into town, he'll be coming down the chimney down. It's the holiday season, and Santa Claus has got a toy for every good girl and good little boy. Santa's a great big bundle of joy when he's coming down the chimney down. He'll have a big fat pack upon his back, and lots of goodies for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. It's the holiday season, so hoop-dee-doo and dickory-dock, and don't forget to hang up your sock, 'cause just exactly at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll have a big fat pack upon his back, and lots of goodies for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. It's the holiday season, so hoop-dee-doo and dickory-dock, and don't forget to hang up your sock, 'cause just exactly at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney. Coming down the chimney down. Happy holiday. Happy holiday while the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you. Happy holiday.
what team. Alright. Alright, I think I... hello, chat. Welcome back to our what could potentially be our final match of the night. Sorry, I'm a little out of it. Doing this for about 3.5 hours, and I do have an exam to take still, so if I seem a bit discombobulated, that's on me. Sicardo with the early kill on the Boop. We're headed into Shambali Monastery Chase, once again rolling out on the Wrecking Ball. And with another on to St. Lazarus, Naku getting the kill on the Sicardo, and Hypno starting off very strong on Shambali, getting almost a complete team kill to start things off. And yes, I know what it looks like, okay, but Vendetta actually did get banned this time. I wasn't just hallucinating that it did not just come to me in a dream. Alright, Vendetta actually is banned by Celestial Divide this time around, and Diva banned by Hypnos in A. Which means that our matches are going to be a bit different this time around. Jay's still finding a lot of value on Ball, getting a kill on to Tim. And another on to St. Lazarus. Boop on the Lucio, looking to have a duel with St. Lazarus whenever they respawn. And a Beast of Heaven with the kill onto Chase. Silent with the kill onto Sicardo. Naku with the kill onto Beast of Heaven. And Chase is on their way back. Down 2 on Hypnos and A's part. Freya swap from Sita here. 2 minutes on the clock, and we're seeing Celestial Divide make progress. But Chase is back on the payload with a kill onto Beast of Heaven, trying to follow up with another one onto St. Lazarus. St. Lazarus running for their lives! Gotta get out of there! With the kill onto Sicardo, but St. Lazarus still fighting. Chase here gets both stickies from Sita there. A double kill from the Freya. Out comes the Kitsune Rush from Silent, keeping Chase up. We see an aggressive hold from Hypnos here, but they're able to put out the numbers. Tim popping the Deadeye from Beast of Heaven. Just kind of poking everyone out of spawn. Hit with the kill on to St. Lazarus, though. Still seeing pressure from Hypnos against Celestial Divide. Chase with the kill on the Beast of Heaven. Berlin with the kill onto Boop, trying to get those finishing blows as Chase once again just right outside the door here. Beast of Heaven with a ton of damage onto Chase there, but here comes the Molten Core mirroring out Tim's Kitsune Rush, trying to lock down the point as Sita and Berlin get a couple more kills coming down to the last 40 seconds. That sound barrier is available for Boop, popping it, almost Ajaxing, not quite though, as Beast of Heaven was denied by Chase, coming down to the wire for Celestial Divide. They have one last chance to close it out. Chase really close to going down now. There's the minefield right over the top. Berlin trying to find value, going up against Silent, but forced out by the amount of people looking at Berlin's area. The overtime ticking down. Can't see a step off from Celestial. Celestial is able to reset it for a moment, but here comes Chase, doing Wrecking Ball's thing, swinging around. Sita gets a kill. We see another kill from Sita. Another kill from Sita on the Freya, and the Bola makes it to the moon. That's gonna be the first round. Freya is setting off some fireworks to commemorate Hypnos taking that first half fairly confidently. Not a single point capture from Celestial Divide. Thank you, Doc, for the $10. I saw you in Path to Scrims earlier. Thank you, Doc, for the $10 donation to Frostgiving. If you would like to give to Frostgiving, there's a link on the right-hand side where Nightbot has talked to you, and directly down below, there is a banner you can click on to donate to Frostgiving. It's for prevention in self-harm, depression, addiction, and suicide. So every dollar counts. Every donation matters. Additionally, this is going to be the last round of the night, but this is a 3-day event, meaning tomorrow and the next day, there are more chances for you to influence the direction of games. A handful of teams and players have agreed to intentionally throw based off of your donation, which means you can have a direct impact on how these games are played. Just keep that in mind for the rest of the streams tonight and coming up in the next couple of days. Also, if you just want a banner or something nice to go along with your donation, there are still, I believe, 85 spots open for Frostgiving banners that you can redeem, get your own name and the hero you like put up against some custom-made art, and that is, and we just want to support this event in the best way we can. Headed into the side swap with Celestial Divide on their defensive half now. This is their last chance to tie things up, or Hypnos in A will take the 4th round of the night and close things out here at the end. Boop gets taken out very quickly, with Silent getting one onto Sicardo, trying to even the playing field a little bit by getting one from both teams. But we're already seeing that pressure turn back around. Chase on the ball, once again, it being extraordinarily oppressive on ball as well. Beast of Heaven on the height. Boop taking a pretty significant damage. Gonna be able to stay up. Silent on the critical, putting out decent numbers. Down goes Berlin, Beast, and Saint Lazarus as the collapse from the Hypnos began, and they cross that finish line to the cart, getting the capture. And folks, that is going to get the series over to Hypnos in A, putting the final score 2-1, or 2-0. Sorry, I'm used to doing other brackets. Well, folks, I'm going to let this play the game go before I talk us out. First and foremost, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of Frostgiving Day 1. If you were a player that's watching the stream, or if you're a manager, if you did anything around this event, or even if you just watched, thank you for being a part of Frostgiving and making it what it is. As for the plans for the rest of the week, that's going to wrap things up for tonight and for me. Been 3.5 hours, and I have an exam to take that is due at midnight Central Time. So I'm going to go ahead and log off of here fairly quickly. I just want to also give a shout out to any donator that donated over the course of tonight. All of your contributions are very, very valuable, and they are going towards a great cause. So thank you so much for supporting not only this community, but Frostgiving and charities as well. But I think that's going to do it for me for day 1. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And with that in mind, we are going to be wrapping things up for the night. But tune in tomorrow night. If you want to see more Frostgiving, this is a 3-day event. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. Not 8 p.m. Central, sorry, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, other way around. And I will be doing more of these matches just like this all night long so that we can have more amazing Overwatch together. But that's going to seal the deal for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for being a part of Frostgiving. And Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and to all, a good night.